Greg Biffle led 204 laps tonight, the 100, 200, 300, and 400 mile mark. But Greg, what changed the tone of your night?
You know, when the speeds picked up and it cooled down, same thing at the All-Star race. We were pretty dang good. And then as the speeds picked up, our car was down a little bit harder on the nose, and it just slid the front end up the racetrack. And I was driving for all I was worth, but you know, 2 tires just kills our car too. We did 2 tires a couple times and lost track position big time. And unfortunately, it was toward the end, one stop before the end, we just couldn't recover track position-wise. And Casey got good as the night fell, and we seemed to struggle a little bit.
In the 7 races that Greg Biffle's led laps in 2012, his average finish was 4th. That's where he finished tonight.
Thanks, Matt. Here's a look at tonight's 5-hour energy big move of the race. The pit stop that took Jimmy Johnson from contention. The jack drop. Johnson went to fueler. Wasn't done, and the tire changer got tied up. That's the 5-hour energy big move of the race. Happy 70th birthday, Dick Berggren.
Jimmy Johnson finishes 11th tonight, but that's the 3rd penalty on pit road that's been harmful to your chances to win. Your crew doesn't usually make mistakes. What's happening?
We just, had a couple little mistakes on pit road tonight, and the one late, it took us out of chance for top 3 there, but it happens. Last week things couldn't have gone any better. Darlington, they went amazing, and then this week we had a few little issues. So these guys will work their tails off this week and make sure that we get those things corrected. We had a decent car, not the car that we had last week. This track changes a lot from week to week, but I still think we would have had a very fair showing with the Lowe's Chevrolet. But 11th is what it is.
Win as a team, lose as a team. See you next week.
Thanks, Dick. Happy birthday to you and to Krista's dad, Dick Boda.
Yeah.
Daryl, have a look at the finish here.
Yeah, all 4 of the Hendry cars in the top 11. You got a couple of Gibbs cars in the top 5 and 3 Roush cars in the top 10.
See Matt Kenseth there in the 17, all 3 Roush cars in the top 10, but he was the first one a lap down.
Number of top talents, including Tony Stewart, struggled tonight. Came home with a 25th place finish. And J.P. McMurray, who's been in charge early in the race. Really, we had 6 stages in the race, and 4 of those dominated by Greg Biffle. And then at the 500-mile mark came the lead and then finished it off at 600. And impressive when you think about Casey Kane's career. Began at a Ford. He's won in a Toyota, a Dodge, and now in a Chevy for Mr. 200, Rick Hendrick, or 201. And Denny Hamlin, second place finisher. Our Matt Hilton caught up with him.
Impressive run by Denny Hamlin in the 11 team, and Denny was second place finisher in the longest race. What do you take out of here the most positive for you and your team?
Well, this is our new 2012 cars. This is the first cars that Darian's really had his hand in and building, and it's definitely a step in the right direction with our teammates right there, second and third. So it's positive. We just need a little bit more of everything. We need a little bit more motor, a little bit more aero, a little bit more mechanical, and we'll get there. But just use all my tires up trying to get to them. Drive them with my eyes out and my hair on fire for 20 laps on that restart trying to catch him. But he just had a superior car in the long run.
Denny Hamlin second here in Charlotte.
Thanks, Eddie. We make a lot of NASCAR's longest, fastest night. That extra 100 miles and 600 miles made a big difference to Greg Biffle and Casey Kane.
Yeah, Biffle was dominant early, and we talked about the fact that if your car's good early, it might not be late. Casey was steady early, but he wasn't fantastic. But as night fell and the speeds picked up, his car was set up perfectly for those conditions.
And certainly pit stops had a lot to do with drivers like Jimmy Johnson, some others falling by the wayside. As Casey Kane, 4 different spotters this year in 12 races. He was spot on tonight, and we'll have more as we continue from Lowe's or Charlotte Motor Speedway. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear from pit lane to victory lane. Every NASCAR driver counts on Goodyear tires. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Checking the points, the championship points for sprints. 1/3 of the way through the season, 12 races. Greg Biffle actually added a little bit to his points lead over Matt Kenseth. Tony Stewart, defending champ in NASCAR, fell back a couple of spots.
Yeah, he struggled tonight for sure. And Chris, when you leave Charlotte, 8 of the top 10 guys in points usually make the chase. So you got to feel pretty good if you're one of the top 5 or 6 guys in points right now about being in the chase for the championship.
Casey Kane, tonight's winner, 15th in points, gained 16 positions over the last 6 races. He has been the hot driver. So summing up those drivers in the top 10, guys like Dale Earnhardt Jr. have yet to win. Jeff Gordon certainly, it looked like for a moment tonight he might flash struggle.
Well, and he can he can focus on Brad Keselowski, because Keselowski was 24th in the points when he came to Charlotte last year, went on a roll, made the chase. Jeff Gordon needs something like that to happen, and tonight might be the catalyst for that. He had a good finish, a solid night. We're going to go on down the road. Hopefully he can get some wins and get in the chase. He can't miss the chase, can he?
No, he can't. And speaking of race teams, I mean, Hendrick Motorsports, whether it's a Casey Kane or a Jimmy Johnson, we know Jeff Gordon has had his problems, they seem like they have hit their stride.
I talked to Jimmy Johnson, and I talked to Casey Kane the other night after the All-Star race, and I said, Casey, you drove the most amazing race in the All-Star race. He was sideways. He was just going as hard as he could. He said, Mike, I love these cars, and I want to win so bad for this organization, and he was able to pull it off tonight.
Casey Kane had to wait a while to get to Hendrick Motorsports and finally gets the win for Rick Hendrick. Next on Fox, continuing this Memorial Day weekend, the late local news, so check listings in your area. Next Saturday night, as we continue baseball night in America. Among the headline games, the Yankees and the Tigers. Some will see the Cubs and Giants. Other games, note the start time, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Next Sunday, over in Dover for NASCAR coverage. We hope you join us. 12:30 Eastern time from the Monster Mile. Matt Kenseth put on a good finish there last year. And next on Speed, Victory Lane for continuing race coverage from Charlotte. You can tune into Victory Lane on Speed and for everything that is NASCAR. So Casey Kane wins the Coke 600, capping the triple header. Dario Franchitti for Carlo Chip Ganassi wins the Indy 500. And Mark Webber of Australia, the Monaco Grand Prix. For our entire crew, I'm Chris Myers. We thank you for being a part of NASCAR on Fox. And at the start of the broadcast this evening, we honor members of the armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice. 600 miles and Victory Lane later, we complete our broadcast. But in the days, weeks, and months ahead, we will never forget those who gave so much for the United States of America. We thank you for watching, for being a part of our program. Hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend.